My people, it is the return of one of my favorite things that we do on this channel. It is PowerPoint night. I have asked Matt McCleskey, SeanieDew, Therm, myself, and Blade to all make a PowerPoint.
This is a picture of Zach's real door from his apartment. So this is a picture of a blank wall, and unfortunately, it's not what Zach's walls look like. So I just kind of wanted to get like the biggest, most obvious thing out of the way first. Why don't Zach's walls look like this? Because they look like this.
Oh no, the goop walls.
Brown goo coming out of them.
What? Can I explain myself? You can't open with brown goo. Come on.
And I mean, this can be up for debate, but I think brown is the worst color of goo that you could have coming out of your wall.
Brown goo.
I'd prefer brown to like purple, but I'm still alarmed.
Can I explain myself? I do live in an apartment though, and every time it rains,
do that right now.
But that's beside the point. The brown goo is not my brown. I'm sorry.
So maybe college dorms aren't that bad.
Oh no, you live in the dream compared to the
I guess
brown goo.
so.
Question and answer time. Question 1. In the home, where do you keep your trash?
Under the sink or very close to the kitchen.
In a trash can of sorts.
I didn't even read the question right. I thought that said trash can. Is the answer in his apartment?
Wait, is this where? Oh, okay.
My answer to this one is going to be on his YouTube channel.
Oh, come on, dude.
Here's the answer.
Whoa.
Open trash bag in a cabinet by the washing machine.
It's all confined in the bag most of the time. Trying to make it as a content creator. I'm spending every available minute making content. I don't have time.
No. Don't try to make it seem like bending down to open a cabinet to try to fit something into a plastic bag is easier than stepping on the handle and tossing something in a bin.
I'm going to turn my apartment into a safety hazard because I love you all so much.
My people, come and help me clean up.
And that's the end of the Q&A section.
Thank you.
Great job, everyone.
Are you kidding?
Okay, number 3. He's a true gamer, and true gamers really like it in the dark. So that brings me to my number 3 thing that I hate about Zach's apartment is that his blinds are never open. He's never even touched them. I went over there like a month ago and opened them for the first time, I think, because there's a bunch of spider webs back there.
Yeah.
Just constant darkness.
I've lived here 4 months. They've been open once.
4 months. Okay, this slide, ignore the the poorly edited Pepe. So
you're gonna kill Therm.
I just did like the remove background, and then I didn't feel like fixing it. So this is a picture of Zach's snack drawer, and it's empty. And it's been empty for like 3 weeks. So that means.
What are you talking about? If you're hungry, you make muffins.
Why do you have so much like baking mix? Oh my god. Does he like bake often?
No, and that's
Clearly
why
not.
I've had all of these things for so long, because I get them as gifts.
Can I have it?
Yeah.
I would kill for a wild blueberry muffin, dude.
Okay, last one. It's a normal cabinet. It looks fine. But my problem with it is the position of it being above the fridge. And this is a picture of me trying to reach it. A rare chance that Zach does have snacks. He'll take them and put them in that cabinet so I can't eat them all. That's extremely hurtful.
Great work. I thought it was fantastic.
By the way, I had to join in on this too.
Ooh, dude,
Oh yeah.
It's not as bad as she made it look. It's bad, but it's not as bad, okay?
Look, you gotta get that brown goo taken care of.
Yeah, for real, man. That's an actual problem.
Get some help.
Habu.
Get some.
Hello, Habu.
Get some help.
My God.
Did you?
In-N-Out burger? More like In-N-Out burger.
Oh, like vomit.
Exactly.
Dude, dope.
In-N-Out burger is not good. It's just okay at best. Out at any of the restaurants, and you would think that this is a positive thing, but think to yourself, what's the first few things you ask? I don't think I've ever considered, are they using fresh ingredients? It's not healthy for you regardless. Who cares if it's been frozen? It's also a cultural icon if you're from California, but that hype is not doing it any sort of favors. Okay, you talk to any Californian, they'll be like, yeah, it's super good, super good. It feels like Stockholm syndrome to me. I know they're disappointed. I know it. And look at the lines. Wow. If it was just at any point in time, just walk in, order, and leave. Have your mediocre food. I don't care. But people wait 2.5 to 3 hours to eat. It's not worth your time. It's not. When you go to In-N-Out, you have one question you need to answer, and that's how much would you like? There's not variety. It's one item in different quantities. Just for comparison, here's a McDonald's menu, which is so big you can't read the individual items in this PowerPoint. Same with the Whataburger and Wendy's menus, because there's actually options. Okay, if you go with your friends, if you go to In-N-Out, we're getting burgers. Sorry, you go here. You guys want chicken? Maybe a salad? So inside of In-N-Out is just it's wrappers full of mediocrity.
Wow.
The burgers, which I would argue are the highlight, just okay. You eat it, you're not necessarily disappointed, but you're not happy you ate it. You're just like, okay, well, I ate. This is every conversation I've had about In-N-Out Burger with someone who defends it, okay? It goes something like this. Have you ever had an In-N-Out Burger? Yeah, it's actually kind of bad. Their fries are awful. You have to get the animal style fries. Would you get the fries by themselves? No, okay, the fries are bad, but like the rest is super. Okay, so how long have you had to wait? Oh, I've had to wait like 2.5 hours before. Was that worth it to you? Well, not really, but it's kind of like a fun thing to go. Okay, so it's not, you don't like it. Well, it's good. You don't like it. Burger, just okay. Fries, sad and unredeemable. I've said it already. I tried a shake from there one time. They didn't make it right.
Sour.
So in conclusion, the experience a person can have at an In-N-Out ranges from mediocre to bad. And if you average those out, it's below mediocre. Don't eat In-N-Out so often. Find something better.
Thank you.
That was informative. And how about Blade goes next?
Well, I'll say right now that if I sit down and try to be funny, I'm not funny.
Oh.
So I've gone more informational.
First of all, Blade, I disagree with that because you make me laugh every day, sweetheart.
Love you too. RNG in the game in Stardew Valley uses a step count. This RNG is used everywhere during the day. So if you track steps during the day, can you affect RNG for the day? What do you think?
I think, yeah. Oh,
Yes.
what?
Oh.
Blade, hold on. You knew that this is a trick question. You basically did the equivalent of default dancing on us by adding a spin to this no. Like, no, idiots. Of course not.
So we're going to look at what you can use step mapping for. RNG seed. This is a seed that is unique to your save file. How does this work with step counting? Want to see some code?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, baby. You're taking me back to my
Thank
tutorial
goodness it's
days.
highlighted.
The total number of steps that have been taken over the life of the file is used to set up game1.random. Where is game1.random used? Everywhere. 3,187 references to game1.random throughout the code. So how can we predict RNG? We need to know the seed, we need to know how it's used, and we need to track the state. We need to track how many times game1.random has been called at the time we want to do our predictions. What can we use step counting to predict? We can predict the dish of the day. You can predict if an NPC is going to send you a piece of mail that includes a gift. You can predict what trees are going to plant seeds in the ground. You can predict what hoe dirt is going to be untilled. You can predict what gets placed in the farm cave. You can predict the number of spring onions you get.
God,
you can predict how weeds.
Oh, no.
There is no way a human can track the state of game1.random throughout the day. How do I predict the things that I can predict? You can either use a mod or you can use Cordite spreadsheet. How do I track my steps? You can manually count every single step that you've taken from the start of the file. You can look into your save file to see how many steps you've taken, or you can look at this handy computer in the casino.
What animal is that modeled after? What is that?
Your mom. Dude, I got him. There he goes.
All right, see ya.
You only take a step when you hear the thud of your foot hitting the ground. So, any tips for counting steps? Don't take steps, or take very few. We have the stutter step.
Whoa.
So this is when you start walking, but before you take a step, you stop moving. We have the pause buffer. You don't lose speed, but it can induce seizures. This looks like
Oh, that's so
God.
awful. How do you guys
My
enjoy this
worst
game?
nightmare.
the Ministry of Silly Walks. This is when you hold down animation cancelling while using a tool like a pickaxe or an axe and walk. It looks a bit like this.
Piano taught me this one.
And then finally we have the shooting star.
Yo, copyright.
Conclusion. Steps taken during the day do not affect RNG for the current day. You need to track the steps taken to affect RNG for the following day. The best way to track steps is to not take steps, and you can use Cordite spreadsheet to assist in making predictions. The end.
Blade, I wouldn't have expected any other presentation out of a man like yourself. All right, I'm going next. I have decided my presentation is going to be controversial. I like to please people. Not tonight. The truth has to come out. People need to know what's truly important about life. Daylight savings time should be banned. For Blade, maybe, in New Zealand, or just anyone that doesn't even know what this is, who lives in a good country. Daylight saving time is the act of turning your clocks 1 hour forward for some reason, just for the summer, and then back.
Like what I just did over this last weekend.
Okay, so New Zealand,
Yes.
also a bad country. Noted. Pros of daylight saving, it's only fair that I go over the pros. So let's talk about who does this. As you can see, the countries here in the red are idiots. I live in a red zone. I like to refer to people in the purple as the enlightened. Red people are those that are doing daylight saving time currently. Purple once did it, but then were enlightened and no longer do it. And then those that have never adopted daylight saving time are known as the Chads. I would like to note, I'm gonna throw a lot of shade at the United States here. Hawaii and Arizona do not conform to daylight saving time, and I think that is a very noble act of them. I just wanted to properly recognize their bravery. Which of the following 5 names do you think is the proper name for this thing? Vote now on your phones. Daylight saving time, daylight savings times, something. Confusing name.
I'm almost positive it's the first one, but go crazy.
I don't think so. You'll actually notice. I looked it up during my presentation because I didn't know. I've crossed out every instance of the letter S when the phrase daylight saving time appears.
Oh, I thought that was a mistake.
Oh no, I struggle through every time. No mistakes here except for daylight savings time. This is George Hudson, the creator of daylight saving time. It is an ancient system created all the way back in 1918, a different time. I'm pretty sure
Neanderthals were around in 1918.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. I couldn't find an actual picture of George Hudson, and this is just what I imagine he looks like.
So he just had to use a picture of his mom. It's fine.
Nice. I'm pretty sure that George Hudson was the one who made it, and I think he did it because he wanted to study bugs, and he wanted to get up when the sun was up way early in the morning so that the bugs would be there. But he didn't like how the time was, so he just ruined it for everyone. Here's another reason why this is outdated. Are we in the middle of a World War I right now? Anybody know? No, we're not. Why do the farmers need that sun? We live in the era of the future, of the internet, okay?
You don't know why farmers need sun?
My claim is I'm almost positive daylight savings is not for sun, but is actually to save energy. And since there's an impending energy crisis.
Okay, well that's a great, I'm gonna use that to raise my point. I think I talk about this later. It's to save energy by having us all be awake when the sun is up. That was the idea when it was introduced in World War I. Have everyone be awake when the sun is up, then they don't have to like burn their lanterns or light their torches or whatever they did in 1918. It's the same idea now, like don't have the lights turned on because you're awake when the sun is up, right? But that's the issue. That's another point also. No one knows what time it is in the US ever because we're changing all the time.
8:45 my time zone.
Yeah, it's 9:45.
Okay. No one outside of the United States knows what time it is in the United States. Daylight
Wait, what time is it?
Moving on.
Oh no.
Moving on. He doesn't know, and he speaks for all of the world. Okay, so
Gordon knows.
whether you sleep until noon or you go to bed with the grandpas and grandmas at 9 p.m., I think we can agree most people are awake from 12 noon to like 9 p.m. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Sure.
do we take the time that the sun is up in the summer and move it an hour earlier so now the sun is setting at 4:30 p.m.? Why? So that the sun can rise at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning? There's plenty of people who are still asleep at 7:30 or 8 in the morning for multiple more hours. Everyone is awake for multiple more hours once the sun goes down. All daylight saving time is doing is taking the sun away from us.
And it fades my curtains.
It does. If this is such a terrible system, why don't we opt out of it? Well, here's the deal. You are allowed to participate in or be in the bad time, what the United States follows during the winter, where the sun rises earlier in the day. You're not, however, allowed to be in the good time, which is during daylight saving, the summer, all year round. You're not allowed to be in it. It is written into the federal law. You would have to introduce a new law in order to do that. Who's with me? Let's take a vote. Daylight saving, good or bad? You don't need funding when 99% of people are on your side.
You don't understand.
I gotta hear why you're against
no. The government's being lobbied by big daylight savings. By big daylight, okay?
Big daylight?
Mr. Saving.
No, I'm Mr. C.
I'm just playing hardball. No, I'm with you.
Okay, Therm?
Sure.
Okay, Blade?
Yeah, let's roll with the crowd.
Okay, M?
Yeah, I'm in there.
Awesome. Well, that brings me to my actual topic, because I knew that wouldn't be controversial enough. I knew that you guys would agree with me. I knew that you guys would see the logic in my ways. And so now that we've all established this baseline, I must reveal to you my true opinions. There should be no time zones. Again, by UnsurpassableZ.
That actually had the effect of a major movie twist on me, to be honest. But in a way,
As long as you're the one who has to get up at 1 a.m.
Yeah, no time zones. But well, okay, all that does. I mean, you're gonna present this, so I'll let you say it. But
That would make it even more. All right, go for it, dog. Go crazy.
all it does is push the confusion from what time is it where you are to what time is it that you're getting up.
When do your people rise?
What would you rather have to establish? When do your people rise? Or, oh no, I missed an event because I forgot how to convert time zones properly. Oh, when do you want to do this event? Oh, 4 p.m. Okay, let me just run it through a calculator real quick. No, let's just say, hey, we're gonna meet at 3 p.m. Are you awake
do you not
at that
use
time?
Google?
Yes, I am.
Did you just admit on stream to being stupid?
Oh my God, Shawty's here.
He's announced his presence.
Oh my God, dude, what a twist.
I wanted to sneak in all sneaky like.
You nailed it.
Would you think that it's ridiculous, Therm, as someone who just said this 3 seconds ago, that the sun rises at 7 a.m. for me, but 12 p.m. for you? Is that ridiculous?
Yeah.
Would the world be able to function?
No.
No, that's worse, actually.
I present to you. You already don't know when other countries are awake. And China is already doing this. China? They got a lot going on. That is not good. It has nothing to do with their time zones, though. They have one time zone where the sun will rise at 7 a.m. for people in like Eastern China and noon for people in Western China. Now here's the other thing. We made up time. We just made this up, okay? Someone literally, you could have called it frog o'clock, and as long as everyone knew what frog o'clock meant, it would have been fine. Originally, we just all humans said, when the sun is highest in the sky, that shall be noon. Then we invented trains. And all of a sudden, I would be noon at my pocket watch. I'd board the train, go to your town, and it would be 12:15. And I'm 15 minutes off. I'd be like, what? How is this possible? We said we should truncate this to make it easier. The world is changing. We have trains. Time is not local anymore. We're living in a more connected world where we can travel quickly and we're talking to people from different areas. It would be better if we all ran on the same time. Thus, time zones were created. But then another change happened. The internet. Phones. We communicate with people from all over the world now. Why have we not made this same change? Who's with me?
Yeah, I'm not, personally.
Look, it just pushes the same kind of confusion onto a different thing.
Yeah, that's
And
more
because-
layers of
because we'd
confusion
be
for me.
changed, like,
It's
look,
confusing because you're used to the other system.
No,
But
no,
if
no,
you
no, no,
gave
no,
it a chance.
You have, instead of just knowing a number of the time difference, you have to know like when they
sun
wake
position.
up.
You already
It's
have to
weird.
know that. Like, if I'm trying to schedule something with Blade, I have to know that, like, he starts his day 17 hours before I do.
I think you're just not very good at addition.
Look, so
He's from
you
the
get
future.
rid of time zones, okay? Instead of going, it's 8 o'clock here, so over there, do some math, it's 6 p.m. You have to go, it's 8 o'clock here, where in the sky is their sun? That's so much worse.
Hard to quantify.
I'm actually quite good with time zones. This argument comes from my people missing my streams. People, yeah, that's it. That's it, pretty much. Just want to make sure everyone knows
Yeah.
what my stream is.
Hey, Z's,
That's why your view
Z's
counts
chat,
are low.
F's in the chat for his argument, guys.
I will have you know.
Yeah, all of you who were able to subtract 1 from your time.
I will have you know, 37% of people agree with me. Thank you very much. I rest my case.
37. That's dog.
That's
Guys,
pretty high.
Z, check your chat.
That's a
Higher
number.
than I thought.
Therm, it's your turn to present, my friend.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to the Walmart Mac and Cheese Smackdown featuring my friend Davey. And there's a little arrow.
Hello, baby.
Hello, Davey.
Every single one of my slide transitions will take exactly this long.
I hate it. You had to manually do that.
I did, yeah. Each slide is going to have 3 bullet points of description, a 4K res image, Davey quote from my good friend Davey, and then we'll score it in the bottom right. So starting off with the classic Kraft mac and cheese cup. We're only doing cups, by the way. This is all cups. So it was cheesy, it was yummy, and it was has mac noodle. So those are our 3 bullet points for that one. Davey quote, it's not like I'm eating this and I'm like, wow, that puppy's cheesy. And here are scores. Each mac and cheese will be scored on a scale of cheesiness, texture, presentation, and overall experience. The scores are not necessarily out of 10. They can be out of anything. It is just an abstract number. We gave it a 7 for cheesiness, 7 for texture, 6 for presentation, 9 for experience, total for 27. Docked it a couple points because one of the noodles ended up in my sinuses, which I did not appreciate very much.
So how'd you get that in there?
I ate it.
Okay, well, the sinus is above your mouth, so like...
You've never gotten like a fry or like a noodle like in your...
Look, I've gotten liquid up in the sinus, okay? I've never once gotten a solid
That happens to me constantly. Is that just
Therm,
me?
You need help,
Sometimes I'll
man.
swallow something weird and it'll like get lodged in there. Okay, well.
Oh.
So moving on to the next slide. Welcome to Flaming Hot Cheeto Town.
Ooh.
Oh, there's an S on there. Don't mind that.
Spillover on that.
This is real. This is not color graded at all. This is real. It was very, very red and burned like the fires of eternity. The Davey quote, getting a lot of smells from this bad boy, holy Jeebus, which was absolutely accurate. There were a lot of smells, Here are our scores. Didn't really taste like cheese. It just tasted like pain. Texture was a 2. It was straight water.
Like
we gave it a strong 10 for presentation because we thought the red was hilarious. Experience gets a 5. Definitely taste-wise, experience would be a 2, but you just can't match that experience. Like, look at it. Even looking at it is in itself an experience. Cheesy jalapeno antichrist. This is the one that inspired me to make this. I couldn't find a picture of the cup, so it's the box. I saw a bright green cup of Cheetos cheesy jalapeno mac and cheese at a Walmart. And I was like, how is this still being sold? And as I was thinking that, this poor 10-year-old child put it in his mom's cart. And I was like, I guess that kid. So I bought literally everything they had. It was spicy. It was gross. The Davey quote coming into this gotta be the one I'm most scared of. I'm gonna have to reciprocate that one. Here are our scores. It was cheesier than the Flamin' Hot. Texture was a little better, still pretty watery, but again, better than the Flamin' Hot. And the experience is a 2 because this one was an absolute enigma. I can't figure out how to describe this accurately. It felt fine. Originally, we ranked it not too bad because I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't too terrible. But then afterward, that was the one where every time I thought about it, I almost threw up. And I can't think why that was, so I had to dock it some points in experience.
Do you think this left like an emotional damage? Like this left?
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like
100%.
Your bad experience was very internal for this one.
I think about it and I like twitch for a second. It's not great. That one really messed me up emotionally. This is the fancy schmancy kind, Devour. So it was fancy. It was definitely squishy, and it did in fact feel like gravel. I couldn't quite put my tongue finger on what the texture was like until because there was something very firm in there, and then I realized that the bacon bits, maybe they just spray painted pebbles red. I don't know. Didn't taste like bacon, but did taste like hard. They tasted like a rock. So it felt like I was eating moist gravel. Yes, question?
How is it both squishy and feels like gravel?
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. That's why it was so confusing to eat.
Yeah, I can't. Okay, I'll just admit that I won't understand this.
The Davey quote, this one, oregano and acid are my 2 favorite flavors. So he didn't mind this one too much. It did taste like oregano and acid. Here are our scores. Pretty good overall. It tasted good. It was just the texture that threw us for a loop. So this one's pretty solid overall. 7 for the cheesiness, 3 for the texture, 8 for presentation, 7 for overall experience, for a very respectable 25 out of nebulous number concept. Next slide. Feeling like gravel is nothing compared to what we were about to experience. Welcome to Chef Boyardee. This one confused me the most because I love Chef Boyardee, and I assumed their mac and cheese is probably serviceable. Always been down for some spaghetti and meatball, mayhaps some beefaroni on a cold winter's eve. The mac and cheese, as you may have picked up from our bullet points over there, was not good. It was bad, and it genuinely did taste like banana bread. It tasted so strongly like specifically banana bread. I can still remember it tasted like banana bread with like sour chemicals is what it tasted like. It was intense. It was a lot of, well, it was the Davy quote. Oh God, I don't, why is it like that? Why is it like that? I don't like that. So here are scores for Chef Boyardee.
Oh, no.
Kind of a rough go. Presentation wasn't too bad. I'm a mainstay of the classic Chef Boyardee cup. There was nothing tasted like cheese, but there appeared to be cheese. So we gave it 2 pity points for that. There was the appearance of cheese. Texture had to be 0 because there was just nothing. There was so much give. The pasta and the sauce were the same consistency, which is actually really impressive. It felt like if you ate the residue that collects in like the dish drainer, that's what it felt like. So naturally the experience had to take a bit of a hit there. We're not done though. I found a cup of mashed potatoes.
This is mashed potatoes.
I was like, well, this looks like the cup mac and cheese, right?
What?
I see some of you have already noticed the Davy quote, which is, this is mashed potato. He was correct on that note.
Did you tell him beforehand? You just served him mashed potatoes.
I told him beforehand that there was a sneak contender. I didn't tell them specifically that it was mashed potatoes. It was mashed potato. It was not mac and cheese, disappointingly. It was genuinely one of the most surprising, I'll put it that way. It was one of the most surprising culinary experiences of my life. Because let me tell you, the sequence of events of Idahoan microwavable buttery home style mashed potatoes. You open it up, it's straight powder and it smells like yeast, and you think, what have I done? Threw it in the microwave machine on high for a couple minutos, and genuinely, when it came out, first of all, I was just surprised that it had like it became solid and had like mashed potato consistency, and I was like, wow, it actually kind of worked. As you can see by the scores, was genuinely one of the greatest things I've ever consumed in my 18 years of life. Unfortunately, did have to tank the 0 on cheesiness. Presentation was a 5 just because of the kind of freaky bit at the beginning. I couldn't think of what to rank it as an experience, and the first number that came to mind was 27, so I just kind of threw it down because it actually was very good. I don't think I'll ever experience the same amount of like pleasant surprise that I did with this cup of mashed potatoes. It was transcendent. I can't think of how else to describe it. We have our final scores. Everybody knew it was coming from a mile away. Taking home 1st place is gonna be the mashed potato with an incredibly strong 42 points. I mean, it was just never a competition from the beginning.
It's mashed potatoes.
I actually purchased... Z, I'm gonna ask you to please watch your tone for a moment. It was so good that I actually bought more before college and ate all of it in the first week. So it deserves its win. All right, that's the end. Thanks.
You know, you probably could have shaved off 15 minutes with some normal transition speed.
All right, Sean, you're our last presentation, my friend.
Oh God, I'm going last? Okay.
Yep.
My presentation is called Why Idabu Should Retire and I Should Become Him.
Yeah.
Your first question might be, who is the Habu? If you don't know, Habu is a Stardew speedrunner who speedruns a game called Stardew Valley. He is in the top of many different categories, like the fishing bundle, he's up there, and the pantry bundle, he's the only person who's ever done the run, and this is for the community center percent. He's a well-known person in Stardew Valley. I've actually got an example of like how good he is at Stardew Valley right here. This is his performance in the recent Stardew Valley Cup. He's doing really well, right? Look at all these moves that he's making. Can you believe this was only done in 3 hours? The Habu is also one of the biggest streamers in the Stardew Valley community, right? So you might think, wow, this guy's, he's really got it all. Some might call him one of the largest figures in all the Stardew Valley sphere. But he's been doing this for so long. Since October of 2017. Isn't this man tired? Don't you think we should let him rest? Those at the top have more important things to do than hard work. This is a philosophy that I've created called Dewconomics, named after my name, SeanieDew. The king should be supported by his peasants, and they lift him up so that he can achieve even greater goals. Therefore, I believe that I should become Habu. Now you might ask, how do I plan on becoming the Habu? He's gonna give me the login to his Twitch account.
Identity theft is not a joke, Sean. It affects hundreds of families every year.
But this is not, I'm assuming the identity of him. I'll just become him for all legal purposes. I'll pretend to be Habu, and then no one would even notice he was gone. And then Habu could go and do greater things, like whatever it is he wanted to do, like something else. And I could be him, okay? You might say, why?
Why?
So many people are saying why.
What?
Habu can live the life of luxury that he deserves. He's got $7,000 to his name at least. I know that, and at least I'm a sub on Twitch, so at least $7,002, $7,000, $2.02. So that's a lot of money.
Nice work.
He's got a lot of money at least. But why should I be the one to take over for Habu? It could be anybody, but I think it should be me. Here are my Stardew Valley credentials. I did not come in last place in the Stardew Valley Cup. I was the second person to have a sub 4-minute hat mouse % run. The first being Habu himself.
I had that 316, but...
Yes.
I don't remember that. I have 10,000 hours of Stardew Valley practice, and I've practiced animation canceling for 4,000 hours.
Do you have sources to cite?
Yes, that'll be at the end, an APA citation. So I have some gameplay of me playing Stardew Valley. I've been practicing a lot to show you that I could be a speedrunner, just like Mr. Habu. This is in real time, by the way. Look at how good I am. It's only been 8 seconds. And I've already got the parsnips. Now you might think it's weird because Habu streams with face cam, but how is he gonna still stream with face cam if he's not even gonna be there? Well, don't worry, I've got that figured out. How could I replace Habu? People are gonna notice. Well, I'm one step ahead of you.
What?
Hello everybody, it's me, Mr. Habu. I play the Stardew Valley. I love the blueberries. Today we're going to be doing some chain marriage presente. Welcome to the Sturgeon Squad. Enjoy the emotes.
That was really good.
People won't even be able to tell the difference that he's gone. I've basically assumed his identity. The only thing we're gonna have to explain is how Habu got a mustache. I'm not asking for a large salary. For the salary, I'm hoping for 3 bowls of chicken and a price a day, or $80,000.
Like just in general or per day?
$80,000. In conclusion, I'm Habu now. And see, I gave him a mustache.
But Shawnee, who's gonna be SeanieDew?
I can do it.
Well,
I volunteer.
That's why I'm going to do a Battle Royale style contest, and whoever
I would
wins.
kill that. Oh my god, I would nail that.
Over time, the 3 bowls of chicken and rice per day will be worth more.
Not necessarily, because I can't help but notice poor, naive SeanieDew has failed to specify the size of the bowls of chicken and rice.
You fool.
So expect 3 thimbles of chicken and rice arriving in the mail tomorrow at 8 a.m. sharp.
What's 8 a.m.? This concept is foreign to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's
Wouldn't
right.
it be better if we were all
Where's
using
the
the same
sun?
time? Maybe after you sleep on it, you'll feel better about the time zones, but...
No.
Will it ever wake up?